Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. A why motivation new video, and don't waste your time and talk about this today video. Let's take a moment to reflect on a timeless truth. When a man truly loves, his love radiates far beyond words. It becomes a living force, visible to all. You see, the first sign of real love is authenticity. It's not fleeting passion or mere attraction. It's a connection that reaches the soul. When a man loves deeply, it's as though his heart speaks a silent language, expressing itself without seeking recognition or praise. In this love, words are simply the whispers that accompany louder, more resonant actions. Love that is genuine finds its roots in respect. A man who loves you cherishes your thoughts, values your boundaries, and admires who you are in every way. Respect is not merely given but earned and upheld, transforming your bond into a sacred commitment. The nature of genuine love. Genuine love is a force beyond our comprehension, a power that has shaped civilizations and turned the course of history. It is a love that demands courage, not just comfort. It calls for giving without expecting, sacrificing without boasting. Genuine love does not wait for circumstances to align perfectly. It exists in the heart of a storm, in moments of struggle, in times of joy. It rises above fleeting emotions and transcends superficial attraction. To love genuinely is to see another person in all their raw imperfection and to stand with them in spite of their flaws. When we think of genuine love, we often mistakenly reduce it to romantic fairy tales or grand gestures of affection. But at its core, it is an everyday practice. It is felt when a parent stays up all night beside their sick child, whispering words of comfort into the darkness. It is present when friends hold each other up, refusing to let distance or differences break the bonds they share. It appears when we forgive someone who has wronged us, choosing to prioritize healing over pride. Love, genuine and unshakable, binds wounds and bridges divides. It transforms what was once broken into something strong and resilient. Yet, genuine love is not easy. It asks for more than words. It demands our hearts, our minds, and sometimes our sweat and tears. It does not flourish in convenience, nor does it seek validation. Love at its purest seeks to understand rather than judge, to build up rather than break down. It grows not by what it takes, but by what it gives. It bears witness to others' journeys, remains steadfast during their storms, and celebrates their triumphs as if they were our own. Real love listens with patience and speaks with truth, even when those truths are difficult to bear. To love genuinely is to be vulnerable, to offer pieces of yourself without knowing how they will be received. It is to risk being hurt, to confront fear and insecurity head on. That there is no beauty in love that does not also carry some risk. Without risk, love becomes stagnant and hollow, lacking the vibrancy that makes it life-affirming. Genuine love thrives in honesty and authenticity. It embraces differences, cherishes connection, and most importantly, chooses to persist even when the world says it's easier to give up. This love leaves an imprint on our souls, carving pathways of empathy, humility, and strength. It turns us into protectors of one another's hearts, defenders of each other's dreams. It moves us to serve without expectation, to speak out for justice when silence is the easier path. Genuine love inspires us to reflect deeply, to see others as fellow travelers in this life, deserving of compassion and care. And in this way, it binds communities, bridges divides, and kindles hope where there was none. Each act of genuine love, no matter how small, has the potential to transform lives. Even a kind word or a simple gesture can ripple through someone's day, carrying light where there was once only shadow. So let us love, not out of obligation or desire for reciprocation, but because true love is who we are at our best. When we open ourselves to it, we become more fully human, more wholly alive. In a world that often seems divided and filled with noise, genuine love stands as a quiet, resolute force. It calls us back to what truly matters and reminds us that, despite our many differences, we all yearn for connection, for kindness, for something real. Genuine love does not simply exist. It must be chosen, cultivated, and protected. Let us have the courage to choose it again and again, even when it feels hard, because it is always worth it. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. It's a phrase we've all heard before. But it is worth pausing for a moment to reflect on the depth of its meaning. Because within those few words lies the power to shape destinies, transform lives, and inspire movements. Words can dazzle, they can comfort, and they can motivate. Yet when words are not supported by consistent and meaningful action, They become little more than hollow promises echoing in the chambers of wasted potential. When we think about the impact of action, history provides us with countless examples. The pioneers, the revolutionaries, the everyday heroes, none of them simply talked about change. They made it, they lived it. Whether through sacrifices that echoed across generations or daily commitments that quietly reshaped the lives of those around them, they understood that true power lies not in what you promise to do, but in what you actually do. There is a subtle magic in action. Consider a moment when you've been inspired by someone. Was it just their words, or was it the fire of their actions, their unwavering dedication that moved you? Imagine the mother who sacrifices to provide for her child, the leader who stands with integrity despite opposition, the stranger who lends a helping hand when no one is watching. These acts, big and small, speak with a resonance far deeper than any speech could muster. Why do actions carry such weight? Because they require effort, commitment, and often a level of courage that mere words do not demand. Words can be spoken in comfort behind screens or whispered in private, but actions pull us into the arena. They demand that we take risks, embrace discomfort, and face the possibility of failure. When we act, we make ourselves vulnerable, but in that vulnerability lies strength. And in that strength lies change. In our own lives, there are moments when words alone feel like enough. We pledge to be better partners, more reliable friends, stronger leaders, but promises are merely intentions. Action is where intentions become reality. Every day presents an opportunity to live out our values, to demonstrate through our deeds who we really are and what we stand for. Every moment we act in alignment with our words, we add credibility to our voice and strength to our purpose. Look at the world around you. There are those who have stood on stages promising transformation, yet their words have withered in the light of their inaction. And then there are those who labor without fanfare, whose every movement builds something greater than themselves. Their voices may be quieter, but their legacies thunder across time. It is their example we should follow, not because they are perfect, but because they are willing to act, to try, and to rise again after each fall. To act is to leave a mark. It is to stand up and say, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. It is a testament that we are more than just speakers of ideals, we are the builders of them. The time for speaking is not over, but the need for acting is more urgent than ever. Imagine a world where every promise is matched by deeds. Imagine a life where every dream you nurture is nurtured by your own hands, your own courage, your own commitment. So let's be people of action. Let our deeds resonate beyond the boundaries of what we can say. Let our hands, our feet, and our hearts be the loudest voices in every room we enter. When we commit to this path, we become catalysts for the change we wish to see, not tomorrow, but today, and in every moment we choose to act rather than merely speak. Respect is the foundation. Respect is the invisible thread that binds individuals, communities, and nations. It is the silent force that grants dignity and empowers voices, no matter how quiet or small. Without respect, even the grandest ambitions falter, relationships crumble, and progress stagnates. But when respect takes root, it elevates everything it touches, transforming the mundane into the extraordinary and making spaces where all can thrive. To respect someone is not merely to tolerate their existence, it is to see them as a unique, intricate being with dreams, fears, and experiences that deserve acknowledgement. Respect means listening not just with ears, but with open hearts. It requires us to move past prejudice and convenience to truly appreciate the humanity of another person. In this, respect becomes a mirror, reflecting our deepest values and our potential to rise above the smallness of judgment and exclusion. Respect must not be limited by circumstances, status, or differences. True respect embraces the janitor as much as the CEO, the child as much as the elder. It does not discriminate, it dignifies. It allows diverse opinions to coexist, enriching our lives by showing us perspectives we might never have considered. And in doing so, it cultivates an environment where every voice matters, where people feel seen, heard, and valued. Respect is not always easy, it requires humility. It demands we recognize that we do not hold all the answers and that times we must learn from others. This is a humbling, often uncomfortable realization, but it is necessary. Respect is the foundation of trust, the cornerstone upon which empathy builds bridges. When we show respect, we open doors for connection, innovation, and collaboration. We build trust, and with trust, we can accomplish great things. But respect is also about self-respect. You cannot give what you do not have. To offer genuine respect to others, you must first recognize your own worth. This is not about arrogance, but about knowing that you are valuable and that your voice has meaning. When you respect yourself, you set a standard for how others should treat you, and you cultivate relationships based on mutual value and consideration. In our world today, respect often seems like a dwindling resource. We witness acts of intolerance, dismissiveness, and division, and it becomes easy to believe that respect has lost its place. Yet, every moment gives us the opportunity to rekindle it. When you choose respect, you choose courage. You decide to see people, not just their roles or labels. You opt to listen, even when it is hard, and to reach across divides that may seem insurmountable. Imagine what we could build if we made respect our common language, one that transcends borders, beliefs, and backgrounds. We could face challenges not with closed fists, but with open hands. We could find unity in diversity, power in kindness, and progress in understanding. Now, let respect be our compass. Let it be the light that guides our interactions, the bridge that connects our differences, and the foundation upon which we stand. For when we build on respect, we build a legacy that endures far beyond our words and actions, echoing into generations yet to come. Commitment and sacrifice. Commitment and sacrifice are the cornerstones of any meaningful pursuit. To truly commit is to make a promise not just in words, but in action and intention. It is to pledge yourself wholly, even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or uncertain. Commitment is the unseen force that keeps us moving when the path grows steep and the goal feels distant. It is what turns mere aspirations into achievements. It transforms fleeting wishes into unbreakable resolve and idle dreams into tangible realities. But commitment does not come cheap. It asks of us more than passive interest. It demands our time, our energy, and often our comfort. This is where sacrifice enters. Sacrifice is not loss, it is an investment. It is the willingness to let go of what is easy and familiar to reach for something greater. It is the strength to say no to immediate pleasures so that we may say yes to lasting impact. Sacrifice can be painful, and often it is unseen by others. Yet it is in these quiet moments of giving up what is convenient that we shape the lives we are destined to lead. To be committed means you will face challenges and obstacles, and it is in those moments of struggle that sacrifice becomes most vital. Picture an athlete training day after day, waking up before dawn while the world sleeps, enduring exhaustion, pain, and failure. Their success is born not in the moments of victory, but in the sacrifices they made when no one was watching. The same holds true for every parent who gives their all to ensure their children thrive, for every entrepreneur who risks their security for a vision, and for every student who burns the midnight oil to grasp knowledge that will one day change their world. Commitment and sacrifice are not confined to the grand moments. They are present in every small decision we make, each step we take toward our purpose. When you commit to something, you say, this matters. And when you sacrifice, you prove it. There will be times when doubts creep in, when the weight of sacrifice feels too heavy to bear, and when the temptation to turn back is overwhelming. But these moments are tests, not just of resolve, but of how deeply we cherish what we are fighting for. We must remember that nothing great is ever achieved without sacrifice. Every innovation, every movement that changed the world, every triumph of the human spirit began with someone who chose to give more of themselves than they believed they could. They saw beyond the immediate discomfort and envisioned the reward of persistence. They chose the harder path, knowing that comfort is fleeting, but purpose is forever. Commitment and sacrifice often go unappreciated in the moment, but they leave behind a legacy that echoes. They are the seeds from which greatness grows. And in giving all that you have to something that truly matters, you discover a strength you never knew you had, a fire that refuses to be extinguished. Commitment may call for sacrifice, but sacrifice rewards us with growth, resilience, and a sense of fulfillment that no shortcut could ever provide. In choosing to commit and to sacrifice, you shape not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. Your commitment inspires others to believe, and your sacrifices remind them that there is always a price worth paying for greatness. It is through commitment and sacrifice that we change ourselves and ultimately the world. So give everything, hold nothing back, and let your actions declare your dedication. This is the way of true fulfillment, the way of lasting impact, and the way of meaningful change. Support and encouragement. Support and encouragement are lifelines in the journey of life. They are the forces that lift us when we stumble, the voices that cheer us on when doubt clouds our path, and the warmth that reminds us we are never alone. Every person who has achieved something of significance has, at some point, been buoyed by the support and encouragement of others. They are the sparks that ignite our inner potential, the wind beneath our wings when the weight of fear holds us down. To support someone is to stand beside them in their battles, to believe in their ability to overcome even when they themselves falter. It means offering strength not in judgment but in solidarity. There is immense power in knowing that someone sees your struggle and does not turn away. It can be as simple as a word of reassurance, a helping hand, or a moment of undivided attention. These small acts often resonate the loudest, reminding people that they matter, that their efforts are seen, and that their dreams are worth fighting for. Encouragement, too, is a gift that knows no boundaries. It is a language of hope spoken through actions, smiles, and words that breathe life into weary souls. When you encourage someone, you remind them that they possess a light, even when their skies are clouded. It is a reminder that failure is not final, that challenges are merely stepping stones to something greater. Encouragement is not about ignoring difficulties, but about helping others see the strength within them to rise again and again. In a world where criticism often rings louder than praise, choosing to support and encourage is a powerful act of defiance against negativity. It is easy to tear down, but it takes strength and courage to lift others up. By offering support and encouragement, you help build a culture of growth, resilience, and optimism. When people feel supported, they are more willing to take risks, to dare greatly, and to push boundaries. They become unafraid of failure because they know they will not face it alone. Supporting and encouraging others creates a ripple effect. It is a gift that multiplies. The person you uplift today may go on to inspire countless others tomorrow. Your words of encouragement may be the seed that grows into a forest of strength, hope, and achievement. We may never fully understand the impact of our support, but its influence is undeniable and far-reaching. To truly support and encourage others, we must also cultivate empathy. It requires us to step outside of ourselves and see the world through another's eyes. It means listening with compassion, understanding their struggles without diminishing their experiences, and showing up when it matters most. Encouragement is not about empty platitudes or hollow words. It is about genuine belief in another person's potential. It is about recognizing their value and letting them know that their presence, dreams, and contributions matter deeply. And while we focus on lifting others, let us not forget the importance of receiving support and encouragement as well. Too often we carry burdens alone, hesitant to reach out for fear of appearing weak. But vulnerability is a strength. Allowing others to support you is a powerful act of courage. It teaches us that strength is not diminished by seeking help, rather it is amplified. We grow stronger when we allow ourselves to be lifted, just as we strengthen others when we lift them. Imagine a world where support and encouragement are not rare but abundant. A world where people, regardless of their background, find strength in one another. Where no dream is dismissed as impossible, and no individual feels invisible. This is the power of encouragement. It has the ability to transform not just lives, but entire communities. So let us be the voices that uplift, the hands that hold, and the shoulders that carry. Let us be the light that shines into the darkness, reminding each other that with support and encouragement, no mountain is too high, no journey too long, and no dream too distant. Open communication. Open communication is the lifeblood of authentic human connection. It is the key that unlocks understanding and the bridge that carries us over the chasm of misunderstanding. When we engage in honest conversations, we gift one another clarity, insight, and a chance to be truly seen. Yet, genuine communication demands more than just words. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to step beyond the safety of pretense. Honesty is often a double-edged sword. We fear it because it strips away the masks we have grown accustomed to wearing. We worry that by revealing our true selves, our flaws, fears, and hopes we might be judged, rejected, or hurt. But without honesty, our relationships become shallow echoes of what they could be. Superficial words and half-truths form walls around our hearts, blocking the potential for meaningful connection. It is through honest communication that we let down these barriers and invite others into the sacred space of our authenticity. Vulnerability is the core of open communication. It is standing in front of someone stripped of pretenses and saying, "This is who I am." It takes immense bravery to expose our struggles and desires, to admit when we are wrong, and to express what truly weighs on our hearts. But vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength wrapped in humility. It shows that we value the relationship enough to risk discomfort, that we are willing to be real even when it is hard. And in this raw openness, we inspire others to do the same. When we communicate with vulnerability, we build trust. Trust is not built by perfection or through hiding our insecurities. It is built by being human, by showing up with honesty and listening with empathy. It is knowing that even in disagreement, respect and care remain. Open communication fosters this trust by creating a space where people can be themselves without fear of harsh judgment. It invites dialogue instead of debate, connection instead of division. But open communication is not just about speaking our truth, it is also about listening. Too often we listen merely to respond, rehearsing our next words while missing the message before us. True listening, active, empathetic listening requires us to set aside our defenses, quiet our egos, and genuinely hear another person's heart. It means being present, seeking to understand instead of seeking to be right. When we do this, we validate the experiences and emotions of others, demonstrating that their words hold weight and their feelings have worth. Consider the power of honest conversations in moments of conflict. They offer a pathway not of attack, but of understanding. Anger, hurt, and frustration often mask deeper needs and unspoken wounds. When we choose to communicate openly, we peel back these layers and address what truly matters. Know the result? Healing, growth, the chance to rebuild and move forward stronger than before. Open communication also brings freedom. When we no longer feel the need to hide, we liberate ourselves from the burden of pretending. We give ourselves permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. This freedom is contagious. It invites those around us to drop their guards and to connect without fear. Together, we create an environment where authenticity thrives. Imagine a world where open communication reigns, a world where we speak with integrity and listen with empathy. In this world, conflicts are resolved not with fists or harsh words, but with honest dialogue and mutual respect. Relationships flourish, teams collaborate seamlessly, and communities become stronger. We may not always agree, but through open communication, we can always strive to understand. The path of open communication is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It requires patience, vulnerability, and a willingness to be misunderstood as we work toward understanding. Yet with each honest conversation, we take another step toward building connections that are deep, meaningful, and resilient. Let us choose this path, not out of obligation, but out of the desire to be truly known and to truly know one another. And for in the end, it is our honest words and open hearts that leave the greatest impact, shaping lives and transforming the world around us. Listening and understanding. Listening and understanding are more than passive actions. They are acts of courage, empathy, and intention. They are about more than hearing words or nodding along. True listening requires stepping outside of ourselves, suspending our own judgments and biases, and being fully present with another soul. It is a commitment to connection, to acknowledging the reality of someone else's experience, and to letting them know, I am here, I see you, and I care about what you are saying. Too often, we treat listening as a waiting game, as a pause in the conversation where we prepare our response rather than absorb what is being shared. We skim over words but miss their meaning. We may hear, but we do not truly understand. This is the root of much of our division and conflict. When we fail to listen with our hearts, we strip away the chance for empathy, leaving behind misunderstandings that grow like weeds between us. But when we choose to listen deeply, something powerful happens. We create a space for authenticity. In that moment of true connection, people feel heard, valued, and validated. Listening has the power to disarm fear, to soften anger, and to transform suspicion into trust. It becomes a balm for wounds unseen, a bridge over divides that once seemed unpassable. When we make the effort to understand not just at the surface, but at the core, we demonstrate respect, care, and a willingness to share in another's humanity. Listening is not always comfortable. It asks us to confront perspectives we may disagree with and to engage with stories that may challenge the way we see the world. It can be unsettling to sit with the pain of others, to witness suffering we feel powerless to change. But it is precisely in this discomfort that we find our humanity. By daring to listen deeply, we grow, becoming more compassionate, more aware, and more connected to the broader spectrum of life. Understanding, too, is a journey, not a destination. It is an ongoing process that requires humility and the courage to admit what we do not know. To understand someone else is to step into their shoes, to walk their path, and to view life from their vantage point, even if just for a moment. It is about asking questions that matter, seeking not to validate our own beliefs, but to genuinely know another. Through understanding, we learn that differences do not have to breed division. They can teach us to appreciate the richness of perspectives that make up the human experience. Listening and understanding require time. In a world that moves at breakneck speed, these acts remind us to slow down, to savor the connection we share with one another. They challenge us to be patient, to resist snap judgments, and to approach conversations with curiosity rather than certainty. In listening, we find wisdom. In understanding, we find connection. Both are essential if we wish to build a world rooted in compassion, respect, and unity. Imagine the power of a world where listening is not an afterthought, but a sacred practice where we seek to understand each other before we seek to argue or dismiss. Imagine the transformation that could take place within our families, communities, and societies. Conflicts would not disappear, but they would be approached with empathy, and solutions would be forged through mutual respect. Listening and understanding could become our common language, the heartbeat that binds us, reminding us that we are not so different after all. So let us make space for listening and understanding in our lives. Let us listen not to reply, but to truly hear. Let us seek to understand not to prove ourselves right, but to appreciate the depth and breadth of human experience. In doing so, we create bonds that uplift, heal, and inspire a legacy that echoes far beyond ourselves. For when we listen and when we seek to understand, we honor the very essence of what it means to be human. Celebrating your success. Success is more than just an outcome. It is a testament to perseverance, courage, and resilience. It reflects the hours spent in uncertainty, the sacrifices made, and the moments when giving up seemed easier. To truly celebrate success, you must honor every step of the journey that brought you here, the triumphs and the trials, the moments of clarity and those filled with doubt. Every success, big or small, carries within it a story of growth, determination, and faith. Celebrate your success because it is proof that hard work bears fruit. Too often we move quickly past our accomplishments, setting the next goal without savoring what we have achieved. But to pause and reflect on your journey is not indulgence, it is necessary. It reminds you of your strength, of what you are capable of, and of all the obstacles you have already overcome. In these moments of reflection, you see yourself not just as you were, but as you have become wiser, stronger, and more confident. You let this recognition fuel you, propelling you toward new horizons with greater self-belief. But success is rarely achieved alone. It often involves the support, guidance, and encouragement of those who believe in you, even when you doubt yourself. Celebrate them too. Remember those who stood by you, who lifted you when you were weary, who offered words of encouragement when you needed them most. Gratitude amplifies success. When you acknowledge the roles others played, you weave a web of connection and appreciation that strengthens relationships and inspires those around you. Let your celebration be a reminder to lift others as you have been lifted. True celebration of success is also about sharing your light. When you achieve something great, you become a beacon of possibility. You show others what can be done, and in doing so, you give them hope. Share your story. Talk about the failures, the hard lessons, and the moments of doubt as openly as the victories. Inspire others not just with your end result, but with your raw human journey. Success, when shared, becomes contagious. It ignites sparks in those who may have thought the flame of their own dreams had dimmed. Yet celebrating your success does not mean resting on your laurels. Success is a milestone, not a destination. Let it remind you of your potential, but never lull you into complacency. The best way to honor success is to keep moving forward, to challenge yourself anew, and to use your strengths to create a ripple effect of positive change in the world. Success is the gift of opportunity, and opportunity to grow, to give, to strive, and to lead. There will be those who try to diminish your success or who judge it by their own narrow standards. Do not let their voices drown out your own. Remember why you set out on this journey. Remember what it took to reach this point. Stand proud, not boastful. Know that your success, in whatever form it takes, is uniquely yours. It is a reflection of your purpose, and it matters. As you celebrate, be kind to yourself. Success is a moment to appreciate your efforts, not to dwell on perceived imperfections. Be proud of who you are becoming and recognize that the journey continues. Life is filled with new opportunities to grow, to learn, and to conquer challenges. Celebrate each success as a reminder that you are capable of achieving more than you imagined. So raise a toast to your achievements, reflect on your journey, and look forward with hope and determination. For every success celebrated is a promise that what lies ahead can be even greater if you continue to believe, to strive, and to rise. Shared vision and goals. A shared vision is the spark that ignites great endeavors, the invisible force that binds hearts and minds to a common purpose. It is the dream we chase together, driven by a passion that goes beyond self-interest. When we come together with shared goals, we step out of isolation and into a space where collaboration transforms mere intentions into reality. Together, we find strength in our collective purpose, knowing that what we build is greater than what any one of us could accomplish alone. This shared vision is not about uniformity, but unity. It thrives when different perspectives, experiences, and skills are welcomed and cherished. Each person's input shapes the path forward, giving life to ideas that may have remained dormant if left to a single voice. When we dream together, we realize that our differences are not obstacles, but assets that make our vision richer, more resilient, and more profound. Together, we paint a tapestry woven with the threads of countless stories and talents, a masterpiece that reflects the power of many moving as one. Yet, to build and grow together toward a fulfilling future is not without its challenges. The path will have its twists and turns, its moments of doubt and difficulty. But it is precisely in these moments that our shared commitment becomes our greatest strength. When one falters, others lift them. When obstacles appear insurmountable, collective wisdom finds new ways forward. The power of shared goals lies in our willingness to hold each other accountable and to push each other forward when the weight of the journey feels too heavy to bear alone. Building together demands patience and sacrifice. It requires us to set aside our egos, to put the greater purpose above personal gain. It is a process of learning and unlearning, of growth and refinement. True collaboration means listening deeply, empathizing genuinely, and embracing humility when we are wrong. In this way, each step we take together is an act of courage, a choice to believe that the destination is worth the effort and that each contribution matters, no matter how small it may seem. As we work toward our shared future, we give birth to hope. We show each other in the world what can be achieved when human spirit and determination unite under a common cause. It is a legacy that ripples outward, inspiring others to believe in their potential and to find common ground. Together, we shape not only our own destinies, but the very landscape in which future generations will walk. The journey toward shared goals is a testament to our collective resilience and ambition. It is proof that when we dare to dream together, when we choose to build side by side, we can overcome even the greatest odds. What we create together can be a source of pride, of meaning, and of joy, of fulfillment that lingers long after the journey is complete. Let us build together, grow together, and make our shared vision a reality that stands the test of time. Love in hard times. Love, when tested by life's storms, reveals itself in its truest form. It is not the fleeting warmth of convenience or the easy embrace of calm days. It is a force that burns brightly in the face of adversity, that anchors us when the winds howl and the waves threaten to pull us under. Unwavering love does not flinch when confronted by hardship. It rises to meet it with strength and compassion. In the midst of trials, love becomes our compass, our shield, and our most steadfast ally. To love in hard times is to choose each other over and over again, even when the weight of the world makes it difficult to stand. It is to see beyond the pain and struggle to the heart of the person you hold dear. This kind of love knows how to listen when words fail and how to comfort when all seems lost. It weaves resilience into our souls, reminding us that we are not alone in our suffering. Together we face what comes, knowing that our bond is greater than any hardship. Unwavering love shines brightest when everything else seems dark. It is the friend who stays when everyone else leaves, the partner who fights beside you when the battle feels unwinnable. Love does not promise to remove the challenges, but it does promise that we will not have to endure them alone. It is in these moments that we learn the true depth of our hearts and the incredible strength we possess. We learn that love at its core is about sacrifice, perseverance, and faith. In hard times, love is not always glamorous or grandiose. Often it is found in the smallest gestures, a gentle touch, a knowing glance, a word of encouragement when hope seems distant. These moments become lifelines, reminding us that even in our darkest hours, there is light to be found. Unwavering love transforms despair into courage, doubt into belief. It teaches us to find beauty even when surrounded by difficulty. But to love in hard times is also to endure moments of fear and uncertainty. It requires vulnerability, for there is no guarantee of a painless outcome. Yet in choosing to love, regardless, we unlock a strength that cannot be broken by circumstance. This kind of love is a beacon that guides us through our greatest struggles, and even when it is tested to its limits, it emerges stronger, more determined, and more profound than before. There is nothing more powerful than love that endures when life becomes heavy. It is the thread that stitches us back together when we feel torn apart. It turns scars into symbols of triumph and wounds into reminders of what we have overcome. This love changes us, it refines us, it shows us that we are capable of more than we ever imagined, and it reminds us that even when we are on our weakest, we can be strong together. Let us never underestimate the power of love in hard times. It is the heartbeat of resilience, the light that refuses to dim. When we stand in the face of challenge with love as our foundation, there is nothing we cannot weather, no darkness we cannot outlast. Unwavering love is and will always be our greatest power in the most difficult moments of life. In the end, it is love, unwavering, resilient love that carries us through life's greatest trials. It teaches us that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, we can find light in each other's presence. This love is more than a feeling, it is a choice we make each day to stand beside one another, to offer comfort and strength, and to believe in a brighter tomorrow, even when today feels uncertain. It is the force that binds us, that empowers us to face whatever life may bring, and that transforms every challenge into a testament of our courage and connection. Let us choose this kind of love, not only in times of ease, but especially when it is hardest. For in those moments, love becomes our greatest triumph, our unshakable foundation, and the hope that will see us through to better days.